get things pulled up here for you. Certainly has been an entire month since the last time that we have spoke.
Yes, it has.
You excited to actually get to play your character this time?
I don't know, maybe. A little bit. Kind of was thinking about it for a long time, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so just to kind of align you on some things is that with your duets, of course, I'm trying to quote-unquote fast-track you guys in order to get to Batavia instead of role-playing every single bit of your life. For this segment, there will be a lot of fast-forwarding in your life. When I say that, at level 5, I will be reintroducing duets, and during these times, it may be flashback sequences to further flesh out your background. But yeah, just wanted to give you a heads up that some fast forwarding will happen. Not this session, but certainly the next session. Is that all right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to go through every little detail.
Yeah, good.
That would take far too long.
Mm-hmm. All right,
But yeah,
so
sounds reasonable.
let's go ahead and kind of begin then. Let me pull up a nice little song for you.
Ooh.
This time the bot hasn't been terrible, so
Ooh, that's good.
yeah, I'm actually thankful about that. I hope it continues. There has been an ad break, so that's still going on. But other than that, everything's all good, which is good. Let me... What do you mean, no results found? This is an ad.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah,
funky, but all right.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely some weird start music. Let's see. Can I try again? Does it work this time? Yeah, okay. I don't know why it didn't say not found last time. Here's some more ads.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm probably going to trade out investigation for religion. Or maybe should I do arcana? What do you think would be more fitting?
Religion.
Well, no, I meant investigation or arcana, switching out for religion.
Oh, if you want to switch out, arcana would be really good because the other, well, let me look at Otto's character sheet real quick. I can kind of help you out. Okay. Otto does not have Arcana, so if you want to pick up Arcana, that would be a role to fill.
All right.
And just let me know when you're ready.
Alrighty.
Okay. Born in the small village west of Duckroad. Let me move my map over there so I can start pointing you. There we go. Born in the small village west of Duskrows, Otgez, which is Ogez, was a village consisting of a few hundred people. You've heard tales. Did that move you, by the way?
I was already over it, so if it was moving me...
So, like, if I do that...
Oh, yeah, you're moving me.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that worked, because I'm going to be moving your vision around rock a lot.
I forgot what I said as the ping.
This... Let me just restart here real quick. Sorry about this. I just was forgetting some of the mechanics. Born in the small village west of Duskcross, Odgez was a village consisting of only a few hundred people. You've heard tales of the immaculate marble streets of Duskcross and hope that one day you would be able to go there. Perhaps one day you might. The sun begins to peek over the eastern mountains, its warm embrace coating your fur, sending shivers of warmth between your feathers. Duox, one of the archmages of Moonvale, uses his magic, lifting your belongings into the wagon. The wagon's coachman, a stocky earth pony, eyes the load and runs some calculations in his head for the expense. Sister Lily pulls you around. Hey, Du! I'm so excited and happy for you. We put together some money and goods for you to have you remember us by. She pulls out a neat white and red polka-dotted carrier. Inside the bag you are gifted several items. Hot fresh baked bread, some potatoes, 5 gold pieces, and a unique Evernight amulet. I'll put this in our chat as well.
Gotcha. That's mighty kind of you. Thank you. I'm sure they'll help me on my journey.
She nods, folding her hose close in a bowing type gesture. You roll the amulet between your hose, its silky smooth, beautiful engraving sending shivers. It was cool, almost chilling, yet warm at the center, as though it carried the serenity of the night sky and the fire of sacrifice. Looking over the amulet, at its heart lay a polished oval of hematite, a silver gray and mirror smooth type of gem, catching even the faintest trace of light and bending it into a soft, shadowy gleam. Etched into its surface with precision was the crescent of Nightmare Moon, its curve sharp and luminous as though cut from midnight stars itself. Above the crescent, in delicate script, glimmered the words, Risk all, and below, on the amulet, Give all. The letters were not painted, but engraved so finely that they seemed to drink the light in rather than reflect it, as if the stone had been persuaded to whisper the creed of the Evernight Church.
This is certainly beautiful. Are you certain?
She looks at you and giggles, nodding. Remember, yes. It is exactly what you need for your journey. After all, you're going to Moonvale. And just remember, Du, risk all and give all, for in sacrifice you are carved into eternity. The pendant itself hung from the chain of interwoven blackened silver links. Its weight was light. Sister Lily steps away, and the coachman comes up behind you, speaking up to Duox. Well, I see here. If it's just you two traveling to Moonvale, we can pull you. That's no problem. It's just the cold that'll nip the boys. I'll be adding an extra charge to the bill to cover the wool. 8 silver pieces will do. Duox fumbles around on the inside of his robe, emptying his pockets. You see him muttering to himself about not being able to find some change. From his pockets, he dumps out lint, spiders, a book on Egghead's Guide to Everything, a hard-boiled egg, and a lizard. The lizard, trying to desperately escape into some dark crevice, was picked up by Duox's blue magic. Not today, Bertha, he says, putting the tiny lizard back into his pocket. He checks underneath his wizard's hat, and sat there is a coiled-up snake, which begins hissing. Oh, not here. He places the hat back over his head, vanquishing the creature into shadow. He then takes off his hat again and only finds a few copper pieces. Shoot, I'm out of money.
I'll cover it for now. Sister Lily did give me some change for this.
Duox looks to you with gleaming eyes. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that an archlage like myself is so poor. I seem to have misplaced my purse. But don't worry, because once we do reach Moonvale, I'll be sure to reimburse you for this.
Of course. And I hand the cart puller or the coins needed.
You go ahead and hand him a gold piece. The coachman looks at it and then shuffles around for some change back to you. He hands you 2 silver pieces back. The stocky red earth pony jingled the coins in his hoof before giving it back. Thank you, Duox says, bowing to you. All right, he began tugging the strap of his saddlebags tighter. As we push north, the first marker is Thornmorse. Right here. After that, we'll skirt the low ridges until we reach Sange. You hear him, tobacco in his mouth, as he spits onto the ground. He reaches into his pack and grabs a map, unfurling it for you and Duox to see. Now, Count Greyhost's territory. We'll be skipping it, and with good reason. His bats roam in shadows even by daylight, and the tolls he asks are never just in coin. His banners still fly black from the wars. They say they're stitched with the faces of those who refused him. Either way, whether that's a tale or not, keep your eyes off his borders. I certainly don't want any trouble.
Is his land really that treacherous?
The land itself ain't so treacherous. I mean, other than the undead, I suppose. He's a necromancer. But the thing is that he just kind of lost his way. A little bit mad. He still abhors the hive of change. And ever since the war, he's just been different. He's always been very protective of his land and his money. You see.
I see. I can certainly understand why he might feel that way.
The coachman's pony still softened a touch as he tapped his map again. We'll be traveling along the side the River of Tears come nightfall. The water is cold, fast white water, with stones so smooth they shine like wet glass in the moonlight. It's an awful pretty sight. He rolled up the parchment with his snap. Camp will be packed by 7, and hooves on the road by 7:30 sharp. No exceptions. By the time we cross into Yezik, we'll turn west into Dread Moon's Cradle. We'll, of course, stop before the Umbral Gates, as we can't, of course, adventure beyond. Duox steps forward towards the carriage. That's fine. We'll be fine, Duox says, perhaps even reassuring himself, climbing aboard the old carriage that creaks underneath his weight. Unslinging his saddlebags, he tucks it underneath a bench. The thought occurs to you that he, or you, really don't have any clothes for the cold. You've heard tales of Nightmare Moon's frost, on how it crystallizes your blood on contact, turning your veins into frozen ice streams that can kill you instantly. Duox, however, doesn't seem to particularly have this thoughts in his head. He calls from the carriage. Well, Du, are you ready for your new life to begin?
Yes. Yes. I think I'm ready.
Alright. The church comes out to send you on your way. The carriage steadily moves along the bridge of Odges. Let me go back down, just so we can realign ourselves. Heading northwest to Thornmorse. As you rise above the hill, you look back to the small village of Odges. Odges was never much a sight to behold. It was a small village consisting of just a handful of people. Everybody in the town knew each other and have grown up with each other, despite living so close to Dustcrust. The life outside of it was fairly isolated. Nothing too interesting has ever happened in the small village. As far as interesting goes, it was actually next to Bedcog. Now, Bedcog had to deal with Corbull, right here. Bedcog was a small frontier town on the edge of Frostbite Ridge, with Corbull being an old mining fortress that was taken over by kobolds as of late. However, Corbould was tapped out from its resources, so its residents moved out long before the kobolds found it. However, the occasional kobold party still goes to Bedcog to raid it. Thankfully, a good garrison is stationed there, and it's used for a pseudo-unofficial training grounds, not necessarily through sanctionity for new recruits. Below Adgaz was Bikag, owned by a famous wizard known as Terrace Rendil. Bikag was a wizard's tower of sorts sitting next to the mountains overlooking the theocracy. And of course, to the east was Deskros, the illustrious city of the morning god, Solar Eclipse. It was the first settlement in the New World that she shaped by her hooves. It is a city unlike any other. You've heard many, many tales about the stunning beauty of it all. The white flowing waterfalls, and architecture that is unlike that has ever come before. You hope that someday you would be able to visit there, perhaps as an academic study, of course. And to the north was the Great Divide. Between the god of dreams, Nightmare Moon, and the northwest, and the god of war, Daybreaker, in the northeast. Duax looks up to you, some time passing as you look out into the past. Have you ever been to the lands of the Lightbringer or of our Shadow Monarch?
I'll be honest, I haven't really traveled outside of Adgaz.
He nods. Not many do. Would you like to tell me... Would you like for me to tell you a little bit about their history?
Yeah, I think I would.
Alrighty. Daybreaker's territory, the Sunflare Caldera, was once a hellish landscape of marred destruction and volcanoes. Lava rivers flowed above ground with a vast network of volcanoes burning away all life in an extreme region. However, death of a once laden world often yields to richer, deep futures. Volcanoes begin as a wound to the earth, devouring forests, rivers, lakes, and life. The sky chokes with ash, blotting out the sun, and the land below falls into a graveyard of obsidian and cinder. Normally, it takes decades or centuries for life to truly regrow and blossom. But such is the will of a god to defy nature. Daybreaker allows volcanoes to burn the world so that it may be rebuilt from the ground up. It is she who takes away all of the ash with her mighty magic of fire and divinity, before the soot could ever cover the world. The sky breathes hotly, and so the natural occurrence of life drops its rain in heavy falls. With her careful touch, she cools the fire into fertile soil, now deeply richer than ever before with minerals. The trees of hers are ones of red oak, their blazing red leaves and trunks rising to a staggering and dizzying height of 100 feet, and the leaves spreading out 75 feet from it. Yet, Sunflare Caldera isn't the only province Daybreaker has. No, she expanded, creating a recent development of the Pyroclast Expanse, so that this land too can raise in greatness. This is where Daybreaker spends most of her free time, maintaining the land and carefully crafting her newest set of fresh soil. Now, Nightmare Moon's territory, the Dread Moon's cradle, is an eternal blizzard with a cold bite to it that will freeze you quicker than you can breathe. Nightmare Moon's approach to fostering life is vastly different from her sister, Daybreaker. Now, to most, the land is cursed, a grave of ice where life cannot endure. Yet to her, the frost isn't death, it is a sculptor of sorts. Through it, she sees endurance. Her frost preserves and perfects, cooling the blood of the land into crystal, sharpening it until it gleams with the unseen beauty of its inner self. Inside, there are forests of frostwood trees, with icicles dancing from its branches like glass chandeliers, glaciers glimmering in moonlight as if stars were nestled into them, frozen lakes into mirrors that reflects the true beauty of the world. Through her magic, she crafted the luminous gulf. There we go. A gorgeous massive lake that glitters at night, easing all pain and stress. All of the lakes, rivers, water around the theocracy is one of her own making, each stream budding a different experience for different life. It is her who created the oceans of the Daydream Waters. Let me bring you up here. The Daydream Waters, the Solar Dawn Sea, which is to the east, as well as the Golden Twilight Expanse, which is west. And of course, the Starlit Bay. However, there was one project of hers that failed in a sense, that being the Frozen Twilight Forest. A forest forever condemned to isolation. There was a time, long before the shaping of the luminous gulf, when Nightmare Moon sought to create something unlike any of her sister's fiery works. Where Daybreaker forged renewal through fire, she, however, desired a sanctuary of quiet and reflection of one's own past. A forest that would forever hold the twilight hours between dream and waking. A place of stillness where weary souls could walk and find solace in her shadow. However, the frost is a jealous type of magic. To temper it is like holding the night sky itself in one's own hooves. It is endlessly vast, endlessly hungry. Nightmare Moon bent her will to craft a grove where ice and life would live side by side, where trees would stand eternal, their leaves shining like frozen stars. At first, the forest did bloom. Pale-barked trees rose high, crowned with leaves of crystal. Each step upon its snow did not sink or crunch, but gave comfort of silence. For a brief span of time, it did seem the goddess's experiment has succeeded, a realm where frost did not kill, but instead allowed one to dream. Yet, the balance could not hold. No. The cold deepened, sharper than ever intended. Roots froze in the soil, unable to drink. The star leaves grew brittle, snapping beneath their own beauty. Animals who wandered in seeking shelter were stilled. An eternal sleep that never ended. The more she tried to soften her touch, the deeper the frost burrowed, until ever her own breath was stolen in stillness. Duak shifts a little uncomfortable in his carriage as the carriage rolls around on the rocks. Nightmare Moon wept for the first time in an age, her tears freezing into gems that still lie beneath the drift. She chose not to destroy the forest, nor could she even perfect it. Instead, she cursed the land, so that any who would begin to dream would wake up outside the forest, unharmed and unclaimed by the eternal frozen sleep. So she left it in its sorrow, naming it the Frozen Twilight Forest, a monument to the truth that even the gods may falter when reaching beyond the laws of our world.
That must have been rough on her.
Indeed it was.
It sounds like a beautiful place, but marred with danger and...
It is.
well, the curse.
I hope that one day Nightmare Moon may reflect upon the Frozen Twilight Forest and try to fix it. I'm not sure if that will ever happen, though. But still, though, it is a reminder that even the gods falter, and so we should take solace in the fact that no being is perfect, not even our own. Silence hangs in the air. Only the sound of the carriage wheels rolling over the dirt and stone made any sort of sound. Hours passing before another word was spoken, lost in thoughts about what life is now. Then you kind of notice something. Birds vanish. Wind ceases to exist. The carriage itself arrives to a stop. The time is late evening. The workers begin unpacking a few pieces of luggage, tents, bedrolls. They begin working on setting it up for all of you. Each of you having your own tent and roll to sleep in, nestled by the fire. The river, a black mirror, still no longer rushing with white water. It is beginning to turn night. Go ahead.
How far along have we made it?
Currently, we are... Let me come down to Odgets. Currently, you guys are right here. Beneath Sanj.
Okay.
Okay, let me skip. There we go. People begin settling around, offering a little bit of camaraderie between each other. The old workers go ahead and set out a game to play of 21. And Duwax goes ahead and furls into his book. It's eerily quiet. The sound of just around you, that being the fire, Duwax, and the workers, is all that's kind of there. The trees have stilled. The birds have quieted down as they head off to sleep. The once rushing white waters of the river is now a calm, serene lake of sorts.
I'm gonna approach Duox and ask him what he's reading about.
I'm reading The Egghead's Guide to Everything, one of my most trusted books in life, and allows you to glean everything in an egghead sort of way.
I can't imagine it have answers to everything.
Oh, sure it does. Would you like to read?
Certainly.
Now here you go. He goes ahead and hands you the book with his blue glowing magic wrapping around it. As you go ahead and hold it in your hooves, it's kind of heavy. The leather-bound book is fiercely strong, and the pages are weathered of age. It has a old texture type feeling to it, and certainly an old smell to go along with it. I guess I'll let you open the book or not if you want. On the front cover is The Egghead's Guide to Everything.
Sure. I'll crack open a page, give it a read.
Sure. As you crack open a page, there's nothing there.
Duox, this is blank.
Oh, he slaps his hooves. Of course. How could I forget? You see, Moonvale actually has a security system where no books can ever be taken from the library that could be read. That, as long as you're not an archmage or at least a student enrolled in Moonvale. Currently, we are on your way to getting you enrolled in Moonvale. And he goes ahead and holds it. And then there alights with text. Magic begins to form over the pages, and it kind of flitters in a fast motion, as if the book remakes itself. And finally, there is indeed words and letters of every sort, describing everything that could be. As you go ahead and just read it from his hands, This book is hogwash. It's just random kind of nonsense that isn't really giving you actual factual information. It's more esoteric things in life, like be good, do good, and good will come or good will happen to you. There's no factualness to this. It's just all esoteric nonsense.
Well, at least the morals are good. I wasn't expecting the answer to life to be like 42 or something.
As you turn to the page of 42, you see it. The truth about life. What is life? And in there, in the book, it says to live for solar eclipse.
Well, at least that I can understand. The God above everything.
The creator. Duox goes ahead and yawns, nodding to you. He takes some stew and gets his good fill of it. After that, he sets his bowl down after giving it a decent enough wash, and he goes over to you and says, I'm off to bed, Dew. I'll see you bright and early in the morning. The coachman's people go ahead and have already went to their tents. Now it's just alone to you in the night.
Good night, Archmage.
Good night, Dew.
And then, suppose I'll just sit there for a couple minutes.
Sure.
Just listening in, maybe looking around a bit.
Roll perception. Oh, those are cool dice.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay, with a 21. Okay. Good job. I really like that dice, but it's really beautiful colors. A bit of time passes, and everyone else is asleep. The fire flickers, shadows stretching across the night. The moon is awfully gray and dull. Every pop of the fire makes you a little weary. Hairs begin bristling upwards on the back of your neck. You feel watched just beyond the ring of the light. You hear a splash in the water. Also, why do you have a 1d20 minus 1 plus 2?
I don't know.
Is your wisdom a 8?
My wisdom's minus 1, but I don't know where the plus 2 is because I'm proficient in it.
Okay, that's why. Okay. So you hear a splash in the water. And it kind of occurs to you that the white rapid of the water, I don't know if you've ever seen white rapid water, but it's fast, it's loud. The river, however, is completely still, quiet.
I'm gonna try and see if I can look beyond the fire.
Sure.
See what's making that noise. Maybe it's a fish.
As you go ahead and look beyond the fire, I'm still going to use your perception roll before. It gleams like a sheet of black steel, utterly unmoving. The firelight plays across its surface, but the reflections in the water you just barely notice. They're wrong. Where there should be tents, the mirrored images look slightly shifted. Your tent flap is open. Looking behind you, towards your tent isn't open. However, the reflection is showing that it is. As you look back towards the reflection, the discrepancy vanishes. And something compels you closer to the river. whether it's courage, curiosity, or simply the oppressive stillness that hangs in the air.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to the river then and take a look, because that seemed kind of odd.
The ground crunches under your hooves louder than it should. At the bank, you feel it, cold, sharper than any normal chill, cutting into your lungs as you breathe. The water does not even move with you, but a ripple spreads across its surface as if something beneath had stirred. Finally, you see your own reflection as you get closer. But your reflection is not you. It looks much older, gaunter. The eyes are hollowed out, feathers dulled to ashen gray. It watches you, mimicking your movements with a very slight delay. You realize now that you can no longer hear the fire behind you.
This is beyond creepy. I'm gonna turn back and head back to the camp.
The mimic looks towards your tent in the reflection. And of course, in the reflection, your tent is open again. As you get... Where are you going inside the camp? Into your tent, another tent, or...
I'm gonna hang by the fire for a bit. I think that'd leave me shaking a bit.
Mm-hmm. As you hang out by the fire, no warmth is given from it. You see its light dancing across and the shadows slightly moving from it. A little different than what the fire is moving like. The fire crackles, pops. You can see embers go into the sky, but no sound comes from it. Make another perception check. Alright, with a 19, you hear something coming from your tent. The one that was empty. You hear it breathing. The Evernight Church amulet kind of glows warmly.
Oh. I'm gonna pull it out and just to look at it a bit.
If you look at it, it's perfectly normal. The fire does light up the words risk all, give all, just as the Nightmare Moon's creed does.
I suppose I'm gonna go up to my tent, see if I can't listen in on that breathing.
You hear it.
I'm gonna grab like a stick from the fire, you know, one that's been like burning a little bit.
Sure.
But it's like big enough to grab onto safely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then rip open the flap of the tent.
As you do so, the light from the burning stick illuminates the tent. I will say roll perception. You don't need disadvantage because you have light. I'm just getting a detail of how much you notice. Okay.
Ooh.
With a 10. You see a figure in your bedroll. The deep rhythmic breathing that echoes in your mind coming from it. Looking over the figure, you see it is resting on its side, and you see one eye looking directly at you while breathing.
I think you have the wrong tent.
Are you doing it by voice alone, or are you also like touching them or poking them?
No, I'm just speaking to whoever that is.
Sure. So as you go ahead and speak to it, you hear it. Duox yells out into the morning sky. Hey, are you getting up? It hit 7 a.m. Hello, Miss Dreamer. And then you wake up. You're in your bedroll. No longer outside into the night. You're not sure when you went to bed. But you are awake now, regardless of what it is.
How did I... What? When did I go to bed?
You went shortly just after I did. As soon as I went to sleep, you basically, as far as I could hear, hung around the campfire for a little bit and then just went to bed. Why?
Well, I look out to the lake to see if, the reflection is still messed up.
You look out into the river, and it is white water. It is loud. You once again hear the birds chirping ahead, and the water is moving in its beautiful blue and kind of silver look.
It just might have been a dream. Never mind.
Oh, we all have those. I understand. Yeah, you seem a little shaken up. I'm guessing it was a nightmare of sort?
You could say that. We better get going, I think.
He pats you on the back. No worries. We still have 30 minutes to pack up, so it's not like the workers are too angry, I guess. Yeah, as you look around, you see the workers are kind of eyeing you, seeing if you'll get up, as they've already pretty much all packed up camp. You gotta work quickly in order to pack this all up at 7:30. With doing so,
right.
Do you?
Well, of course.
Now I want you to give me a roll for it, and I want you to choose what skill you would like to use in order to pack quickly.
Ooh, okay.
Whether it being magic, strength, some dexterity behind it. Maybe using charisma to tell them what to do. This is all your choice.
I think I'll use acrobatics. I think it might apply with getting everything together really quickly, I guess.
Sure.
It's dex based.
Absolutely. The DC is 12.
Flying about to make it go faster. Oh, sweet. I'm gonna love when I only roll 2s and 3s in combat.
In 10 seconds flat, you wrap up your camp. Not only that, but you wrap up the entire camp. You put out the fire. You put everything in the crates, boxes, zipped it all up, and it's already loaded on the carts, all firm packaged and strapped down like a bat out of hell, being a god at this. The workers, absolutely astonished. The coachman comes over. I haven't seen packing like that. Are you sure you want to go to Moonville? I might have a room in my company.
Thank you for the kind offer, but I just mostly want to get back on the road.
I guess so. All right. Okay. Screw 7:30. We're already packed up at 7. Good job, dude. Everybody loads up pretty quickly after that. You've been ready, as they take an extra 5 minutes to get ready. A little bit hasty this time. But the rest of the journey passed without incident. Riding past Greyhost, however, stirred a quiet nostalgia. The fortress city loomed like a shadow on the horizon, its black stone walls swallowing the light around it, and its towers bristled with jagged edges. Greyhost seemed less a city than a silhouette fading into obscurity. The air around it was cold, still, and heavy. The caravan certainly picked up the pace to pass the city. Along your journey, a week passes in total. You and Duox come well acquainted with each other and learn that he has 2 kids himself, his youngest being a spellwright, a 26-year-old unicorn named Jiff, and his eldest son, a 30-year-old unicorn named Hugh. He is a sanctioned missionary, while Duox himself is a archmage, who is 72 years old. You've learned a few adventures he has had during his time, and that he was also a part of the famous group that slayed the great serpent of the land down under. I will show you the Serpent's River.
Crikey.
Over here is the Serpent's River. That trail of blood, the big body of water, is the entire serpent. I was part of the group The Wandering Flame, composed of the lead by the first triad of the throne's member, Eminence Solus. Seeing a first triad is difficult. He adjusts himself in the seat of his carriage, either being uncomfortable with the subject or by the numbness of the feeling that is sitting on the wood for days on end. There were only 2 times when I saw Miss Solus. That is when I first joined the group, and then the fight against the Great Serpent. He slightly pauses. It kept to itself, to not overburden the regular party and the contracted ones. You know of the angels' hierarchy, right?
Yes, mostly.
To give you a brief rundown, it's separated by basically 3 main types. The first triad, the second triad, and the third triad. The first triad is legendary, so to speak. There's very few of them that exist in this world. And each position of the triad, which there are 3, only has 1 member. There will never be another member as part of that triad. So seeing Miss Solus Eminence being part of the first triad of the thrones is extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. And now it kept to itself to not overburden the regular party and the contracted ones. Even with my own protective spells and baubles, I was still blinded, numbed, and silenced by the radiant that existed off of her eminence. It was like a cathedral of living light, a choir carved into flesh and flame, 9 wings unfurled in perfect fractal symmetry, each feather etched with glyphs of our gods' color, silver, blaze, and alabaster, the feathers cascading endlessly like pages of scripture. Where a face should be was masked by an intricately woven blusher veil. It offered some solace. When looking at her face, it was warned to me before I met Eminence to not ever look at its face. But of course, when you're met with by such divinity, how could you not? When I peeked, it was like anything I could have ever described. No amount of words that I've ever read from like lost ancient spells or other exotic languages could even come close to describing what Miss Eminence, was. The air around Eminence Solus was like a burning mirror, and also the smell of like rain was coming. Every word that she spoke was with resonance, the chords like strike deep into my marrow, shattering what I thought I knew of life and remade it into faith. Looking back now, it feels like those thoughts were stripped bare. I realize now that every hidden sin and secret one has, it lays gently but inexorably before judgment. Yet there is solace, for within the admittedly terrifying perfection lies an undeniable grace. A reminder that this being wasn't merely an executioner, but a guardian of us, of Solar Eclipse's faith. Now, my dear Dew, To witness a throne's angel of the first triad is to know what it means to be both infinitesimal and beloved in the same breath. Dwax looks out into the horizon, getting carried away with his initial thoughts as he recalls his time. An uncomfortable amount of silence and hesitation passes, and then Dwax kind of re-snaps himself back into it. Right. So, the Wandering Flame is composed of core 3 members. Imminent Solence being the leader. The spokesperson of the group is a second triad Dominion angel named Ordnance Star, and the second triad Powers angel is a Coral Rampart. They contracted 3, making it a 6 party. I was a wizard charged with the flexibility role, being a multi-tool for the group. There was a Solar Inquisitor. He kind of goes ahead and muffles through his bottom beard with his hoof. His name was Heinrichs, I think his name was. And there was also an esteemed member of Batavia from up north. I was surprised by this. Could you guess why?
No, what was so surprising?
So, despite this being a Batavian member, which is all really cool to see, and lots of stories there just in of itself, no, this person was a Ars Goetia member. Are you familiar with the Hive of Change's hierarchy of devils?
Personally, I don't really know much about them.
Then I'll keep it brief.
Honestly, they frighten me.
Me too. Imagine being in front of an Ars Goetia member of all fucking beings. So, just as heaven has the first, second, and third triad, the triads representing solar crypts are Creator and God. Hive of Change has their own hierarchy, which is implemented when the fall of heaven happened at 683 PST, which was 156 years ago from now. This was when Sagikawa, the leader of the Hive of Change, the blasted devil she is, fell from being a angel. Sorry, Sagikawa was a guy. The blasted devil fell from being an angel. Sagikawa was a cherubim before his fall. Sagikawa, through his own greed and pride, rebelled against solar eclipse. He was trying to elevate himself above solar eclipse, or at least becoming the number 1 seraphim, but one of different goals and methods. Now, when Sagikawa was casted out from heaven, he created his own domain in the Hive of Change that welcomed him in with open arms. Now, as the triad starts from the top and goes to the bottom with the first, second, and third triad, Hell kind of has it backwards in terms of importance. So we start from the top of the list, which is at the bottom of the hierarchy, if you know what I mean, right?
Right.
Like heaven is above us, so you rise. Hell is below us, so you fall. Now,
yes.
Starting from the top, going to the bottom, we have the subordinate spirits, which are composed of sinners, hellborn, and slaves. Then we have superior spirits, composing of the 6 great officers, Ars Goetia, and overlords. Finally, we have the principal infernal spirits, composing of the 7 deadly sins, and then Sagikawa himself being at the top of the hierarchy, the devil. So, imagine my face. When working with the Wandering Flame, our holy vestige, came a Ars Goetia member from Batavia, of all places. He slams his cane softly against the wooden floor of the carriage with each word. Bah! There was so much tension in the air then, a sickening wave of filth radiating from that blasted being. Ever since a first triad next to a superior... Ever seen a first triad next to superior spirits? Bah! You should have witnessed it. The brilliance of the holy flame smothering the choking black, radiance cutting through shadow. Bah! Like a sword through rotten cloth. And would you have believed it? They had the gall, the audacity to be the ones who requested the raid. Bah! He says, dying of laughter as a tear streams out from his eye. By every and any god out there, she was ugly and rotting. He slams his hoof on the ground.
It certainly sounds like an experience.
Oh,
how did the raid go?
The raid went swimmingly, pretty easily, actually. The Ars Goetia member, very scary person. Released a lot of death. An incurable type of death, too. The Serpent's River, by all means, in terms of it being a great titan beast of the Hive of Change, the raid went out pretty well. Nobody was seriously injured or debilitated. The magnificent beast was felled by our member of the first triad, Solus Eminence. He goes ahead and kind of like wonders in his mind. The strange beauty of seeing heaven and hell working together is an unnerving sight, to say the least, but highly effective. Nights and days pass. You thank the Night Mother that there were no more weird incidents when you slept. You finally arrived to your destination. The creeping cold pierces your skin instantly. You thank the Creator for providing you with a good thick fur. The workers help you to unload things just outside the Umbro Gate. The coachman steps forth. So you're the latest recruit from Moonvale.
Aye.
Well, he gives a hearty chuckle, patting your back as he takes off his own wool that he was wearing for the cold. Here, seems like you'll need it more than I will in this place. May your journey be safe. I've heard stories of those who don't make it. Also, I'm giving you vision of the Journal of the Umbral Gate if you want to take a look at what it is. I'll be telling you a good amount of the description, so you don't have to worry about that, but that's what you're seeing right now.
It won't let me click it to open up the page.
That's not good. What if I give you this? Okay, now try.
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, that's a pretty image.
Yeah. So that is currently what you are seeing right now. As you step off, with the wool wrapped up around you thanks to the coachman giving you it, Duok steps off from the cart, without wool, being used to this frozen hellscape. Alright, we have arrived. The Umbral Gate. You take a look around you. You are in a frozen valley. Ahead is a half-frozen over white marbled archway, before lying in the Dreadmoon's cradle, a place where those who are not of her chosen become nothing more than a mound of snow and ice. In the valley of the Umbral Gate, the world seems to collapse into silence at first. The ice wall swallowing the sound. The wind howls mercilessly above. Whipping downwards, it blows through the valley, sending a crisp but teeth-chattering burst of ice air. You hug your wool just a little bit tighter, the slight itchiness that occurs with it. You realize that every step forward will be a battle against the gale, walking in the drifted snow, swallowing your hoofsteps as quickly as you could make them. Duox holds your shoulder, pointing ahead past the Umbral Gate. Some things you should know. The blizzard here is endless. The cold will instantly crystallize your blood. Traveling on top of the plateaus is even worse. It is suicide. The only way forward is through the valley. There may be a time where the wind will pick up snow and you'll be swallowed by the white void and lose your sense of direction. Trust in yourself, Dew, and our god, Nightmare Moon. You'll be fine. He says, reassuring you by patting you on your back. Despite his words and motion, a sinking feeling creeps over you. It's only a matter of life and death, right?
Right. How far do we have to go?
He runs his hoof through his mane. Well, that's kind of where it comes down to you, Duox. It could be an hour, it could be days or weeks or never. It all depends on what the labyrinth of the Dreadmoon Caldera has for us.
Labyrinth?
Whenever you exhale your breath instantly turns into a cloud of frost. Your mouth and nose, through its condensation of breathing out, is already forming icicles. Now for you, dear Dew, I have some clothing that will fit your size. You are not yet officialized or adapted to her cradle, so you must wear some layers. First and foremost, to survive the cold is to stay warm. To stay warm in the deep cold, you must have layers. He digs through his small bag. It's a good thing he gave you that wool, Dew, as I seem to have misplaced mine. He produces out a small bag, several very big coats, pants, socks, shoes, and everything you could need, except wool, comes out of it. These clothes and shoes I have are magically enchanted to be able to stretch or shrink to your size. So from the bottom, from the top, and inside and out. Beanie on first. Just say check after each layer. Beanie on first. Then balaclava.
Check.
Then goggles.
Check.
And scarf.
Check.
Now, the reason why we put the goggles on the inside of the coats and layers is that they don't fly off your head here, because it's very prone to do so if they're on the outside. But anyways, next, wrap up that wool layer tightly around you.
Yep.
Then this here puffer jack with inside zip downs to allow ventilation.
Mm-hmm.
Then wear the water-resistant and windproof puffer jacket as your insulation and last stop measures.
Certainly a lot of layers.
We're not done. And finally, the parka.
Alright.
Now for your bottom half. Wear these thermal underwear,
Yep.
long johns,
Mm-hmm.
and snow pants.
Gotcha.
And for your legs, wear these long wool socks,
Mm-hmm.
waterproof socks over them. We do not want wool wet.
Yep.
Finally, here are some non-slip winter shoes. These, despite the name, can still slip on the ice. They will help you greatly, but caution is of course always advised. The boots are really nice, as they also have a felt liner, which you can easily take out if it gets wet. Now you're all suited up, right?
Yeah, I feel about 3 sizes larger, but yeah.
Well, that's not good. You're supposed to be 4 sizes larger to survive this. Oh well. Now it's important too that you on occasion ventilate yourself out in the cold. The coat and pants have small zips that can be zipped down to air out your inside. You air out to your inner layer of coats, but not anything that touches your skin. For example, say if a hairless creature like a siren, for example, needed to protect itself from the cold, they would open all of their vents to their outer layer shirt. The job of the base layer, which is the shirt, is to keep the precipitation away from the skin. The mid layer's purpose is to be breathable to allow excess moisture from your base layer to pass through. Now, what's often misleading that a lot of people think of about the cold is that it's not the cold alone that kills you first. It's precipitation when you're in the deep cold. Many make the mistake of sealing themselves too tightly against the cold, fearing a draft of cold more than the sweat of their skin. But once the sweat soaks in, the cold will claim you faster than any open air ever could. It is vital that in cold conditions you ventilate yourself. Without doing so, you will hasten your hypothermia 10 times over and kill you. Do you understand, Do?
Right. Ventilate the layers and make sure that they're not wet.
That's right. Good. Now, have you any questions about laying against the cold?
No.
Okay. Now on to the signs of hypothermia, such as shivering, slurred speech, slow, shallow breathing, clumsiness/lack of coordination, very low energy, drowsiness, confusion, memory loss, pain in the hands and feet, numbness, and paralysis. Hypothermia is connected to your body's temperature, which is usually around 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Mild hypothermia, which is shivering, cold skin, fatigue, confusion, clumsiness, and slurred speech, can occur when your internal body temperature is anywhere from 90 to 95. Now, moderate hypothermia, which is the loss of shivering, drowsiness, slowed breathing, and memory loss, occurs from around 82 degrees to 90 degrees. Severe hypothermia, which is below 82 degrees, will lead to unconsciousness, blue or pale skin, slow or irregular heartbeat, weak or absent breathing. Depending on arthritis or other symptoms, of course, you could experience pain in your hooves and wings, jolts, numbness, and even paralysis. Best practice is to keep to sheltered areas, stay hydrated and nourished, drink water and warm non-caffeinated and non-alcoholic beverages. Stay active, but don't overexert yourself. Stay dry, cover all exposed skin, and of course be aware of the symptoms. Now, when traveling, travel next to the walls and valleys. Snow builds up on top and can fall at any moment. Watch for icicles, snow, or other things like trees or branches that could potentially come down. You'll want to travel next to the walls, but not super close to them. The reason is you want the walls to dodge the wind, but being too close to them will put you next to the ice, and the more wind that is wrapping around the walls. Minimize exposure at every single point from skin to the wind. And don't eat the snow. Any snow.
Why not eat the snow?
Because that will cool down on the inside of yourself and further escalate your internal temperature to plummet, which would cause your hypothermia. So don't eat snow. Now, the second to last thing. Breathing. Another serious way of killing you is not breathing correctly. Your nose is better equipped to warm, humidify, and filter the cold air than your mouth. Your nose hairs, he points and kind of plucks one of his own, helps warm the air coming in. Think of it as air passing through a radiator. Now breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe slow but deep breaths so your nose can do its job more thoroughly. Now, if you don't breathe correctly, the cold will go directly to your lungs and lower your internal body temperature, causing hypothermia and kill you. Now, any questions on hypothermia?
And you don't need the gear here?
No, I'm completely accustomed to this weather. I don't need it.
Right. I think I got all that. Stay somewhat close to the walls, but not too close. Watch for things above.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat the snow.
Any snow.
Right, any snow.
Now, very lastly, if we do get lost, don't panic, okay? Go with what your gut says. If you ever get lost, look up to your west. You'll see the far-reaching planet of Zalgaria. While it looks like a star, it's really just its highly reflective cloud cover that is close to our planet, making the brightest object in the sky, aside from the sun and moon, of course. Alternatively, there is a southeast star in the beginnings of the morning, named Sirius, which is part of Orion's belt. Going westward is towards Moonvale, but Dreadmoon's cradle is a labyrinth that is ever-changing. You will turn in every direction to make it in your new home, so don't panic when you have to go the opposite direction. And if you find a beast inside Dreadmoon, you may have to fight it. Hide if you can before it sees you. Fight only when you have to. Beasts in these parts can rip up your clothing and you'll be forgotten for good. Are you ready?
Yes. Are you not gonna be there?
No, I will be right alongside you. After all, you're my key to entering Moonvale as well. That's part of my own rules that us archmages have to follow when we take on new initiates.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Alright. Let's see. The valley walls rose like prison bars on either side, sheer cliffs of ice and stone that moaned under the strain of the gale. Snowdrifts swallowed the ground, erasing your tracks within seconds of being made. Your view shrank, no more than 20 paces across, everything blurred into swirling white snow. Your breath becomes a bit shallow. Keeping your breathing technique in check, you can feel the cold pierce you. You blink, looking at the valley of the walls around you. Duox is in front of you. Along the ice wall, you can see your reflection. Its mouth moving without sound, the same ashen feathers as before. Eyes are still hollow. It doesn't notice you this time. Duox's cane struck the ground, snapping you back awake. You were standing, but not moving, lost in thought. Do not tarry! The cradle mirrors you. If you listen for too long, you'll walk to your own grave. Hours bled into one another. The world remained white, endless, shapeless. You can no longer tell if you move forward or in circles. The place around you looks all the same. The stars aren't visible. The only constant in your life now was the aching pain in you. The cold and Duox's cane striking the ground, beat after beat. A rhythm to remind you that progress was still being made. Eventually, along the frozen wall, you see it. A wall of figures. Blinking, you think it's a trick, but Duox also stops to look and remark. Roll perception. Jesus.
Oh, dang. Okay.
How did you get 3 nat 20s already?
Don't worry, we'll make up for it when combat hits, and I'll just roll, like, below 10 every time.
Yeah. Give me a second while I get the music that isn't an ad. That doesn't sound like the music that I wanted. What? Why is it saying the application did not respond? Discord, please. Or, well, more so the spot. Okay, stop. The application did not respond. Okay. Could you please open this in your browser? Oh, okay, never mind, hold on. We may be saved. Come on.
Tchaikovsky. You can't use cannons as an instrument. Yes, I can. I will use 21 of them.
Okay, the bot is dead. Just put the song.
The bot is dead.
Yeah, the bot is dead. Just
All
put
right.
that music on repeat. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Understood.
Are you back? Okay. It's playing the music.
Alright, sweet.
Okay. I guess I have to loop it again. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So, as you go ahead and reach it, you see it. The statues, rows of ponies, griffins, and all of creature kind are frozen mid-step. Their expressions twisted in fear, awe, or prayer. You realize that... Here, make a perception... You already did. I'm a little behind on times. Okay. With a perception check, you realize that these aren't statues. They're actual people that are frozen.
Oh. Archmage. How many are there?
Oh, go ahead.
That failed to make this journey.
He takes a deep breath. You can see him clearly bowing his head in respect to those who did not make the journey. A lot of people have not made the journey. This is just one section of the labyrinth. There's an endless number of maze combinations, so to speak. For this part, he looks around, counting the numbers. It seems that there are 38 people here. 38 people died on this step.
Do you know any of them?
Looking around at the statues, I noticed some. It's fellow colleagues of mine, archmages, but a lot of them are ancient. I don't remember some of them, or I don't know a lot of them. You look at the statues, and you see that their eyes still shine faintly, as if the fragments of their souls still lingered within the ice. Each figure was clad in travel gear, weapons, robes of long-dead fashion. Some still clutch packs or relics to their chest. Others reach upwards, mouths open in silent cries. Duox raises his head, meets your gaze. This part is known as the Frozen Choir. These who strayed from the path are of Nightmare Moon's creation. They are half dead, half dreaming. They sing in silence to remind the living what happens when you falter. You hear it. Dox goes ahead and bows again. You yourself, you hear it this time. You hear that the Frozen Choir is singing, and that's what we hear in the background. But it is very quiet. It's a low hum, resonant and mournful, barely audible, carried not by the wind, but from within the ice itself. It is a hymn of sorrow and worship, eternal.
Entirely somber, but yet beautiful in its own way.
Indeed. At the Frozen Choir, it splits into two paths. Duox turns to you. This is your journey now, dreamer. The choir of Moonvale awaits for us. Which path shall we take? The left path winds around the walls of the valley to the west. The right path winds around the walls of the valley leading towards the east. Above in the sky, there are no stars except for the planet Zalgaria. The wind is silent in your ocean of thoughts, the world frozen, waiting for you to shape it.
I say we go west, deeper in, to Moonvale.
Duox holds out a cane. Now, why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? we've come this far already. Made the journey.
Of course. But you see, Dreadmoon's Cradle is a labyrinth. It is one of unknowable proportions. The answer that you see may not be the answer that you get back. Remind yourself of the creed of Nightmare Moon. Remind yourself of the song that you have spoke. Maybe in there you can find the path forward. Do you remember the poem that you sang?
I don't remember it by heart, I'll be honest.
No, you don't have to worry about it. Remember it by hearts, but let me go ahead and ping it. I'll just copy and paste it again.
Let's see, in the silence before stars were named.
There you go.
Still dare and be unafraid. Set her eyes where the brave hearts sail beyond the bounds of mortal veil. And let the dark of silver trail after those who will not fail. Silver trail. Wind on the mountain spine, Valkyrie. Alright. Could I look for the path to see if I notice anything about them?
They both look unremarkable, and they both look kind of just the same safety as another. They're both cold. Roll a history check. Or, sorry, not a history check, intelligence check. Not a saving throw. Just roll straight intelligence.
Oh, okay, yeah. There we go.
With a 10. You weren't sure how to proceed forward, not with certainty at least. But a thought streams upon your mind. You recall Duox's words that the labyrinth is full of many trials. And as such, as he has told you to maybe remember the song, perhaps it is the first verse that you need to look at for the first trial.
She rose on wings of midnight flame. Rubble still and unclaimed. Do we go above?
No, buff will kill you. Don't go on the plateau
Well,
tops.
she rose on midnight flame, so that's where I was thinking that.
What does that mean? Where does midnight come from?
Well, comes from time.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight.
And
So,
how does the world revolve? How does midnight and day come?
let's see. Rises in the east, sets in the west, so we go east, because it rises in the east.
What does?
The moon and the sun.
Okay. This is all you for the choices that you make. Something you must know about me, Do, is that I am perfectly willing to kill your character. Understand that if you choose wrong, you choose wrong. This game, Batavia, is a game of fate. A game where you will be immersed and you will have choices and consequences to make. Think well, as it is needed. Now, I'm not saying east is wrong. I'm not saying west was wrong. I'm just letting you know that I am willing to kill your character.
Understood.
So you're going with the verse, she rose
East.
on wings of midnight flame.
Yes.
Okay. Once the air shifted, the frozen choir stirred as you walk past. Their eyes gleaming brighter, their silent hymns swelling into a harmony, felt more in marrow than in ear. The figures did not move, yet the snow of the eastern valley parts as if bowed by unseen hooves. Duox's cane thudded once in the snow, a grim nod. The path behind you falls in an avalanche, impossible to go back. A dark face that Duox has over his own. You answered as she would. The choir approved. Onwards.
It appears we've made our choice. Forward.
The moment you step forward into the valley behind you just keeps falling behind you, blocking every step, every possible step that you could make back. Impossible to dig your way through. Duox looks at the avalanche and offers a silent prayer, looking to you and gesturing forth, hoof raised into the air with a slight bow. It is now your turn to walk forward instead of Duox.
Very well. As I go and take the lead.
The path narrows eventually into a gorge where the wind falls to silence. Snow no longer rushed in chaos, but hung suspended in the air, flakes frozen mid-fall, as if time itself had slowed. The silence grew so complete that it rang in your ears. A chasm split the valley, a gaping maw of ice and darkness stretching endlessly downwards. Across it lay a thin bridge of frost to the other side, no thicker than a sliver of a pane of glass. The trial of passage. He looks downwards. I had prayed we would not see it. I do not recommend trying to fly across. You'll see that your wings will be quite useless here. Instinctually, you try to flutter your wings. There is no air giving you any sort of lift at all. You cannot fly here.
This is most unsettling. That path, it's entirely too narrow.
And too thin. But it is our only way, right?
Can you tell me more of like what I'm looking at here?
Sure. So basically think of it as that you're in a valley, so you're kind of in a pit, right? And your valley led to this small sliver of pane glass that is a bridge that reaches to the other side. The chasm is just a deep, endless black void hole. You do not see the bottom of this, and you'll be falling for a long time. As far as everything else, you can't fly. You don't really have much here. There's the bridge, the walls of the valley that are very much too slick to cross, and that's it.
skies where the brave hearts sail, beyond the bounds of the mortal veil, and lit the dark with a silver trail, a path for those who will not fail. I'm gonna walk up to the bridge and just like tap it, test it, put some weight on it.
Sure. As you approach the bridge, you see a reflection beneath you, the same gaunt, hollow-eyed figure you've seen before, in the black mirror that was the river. It looks at you with curiosity. Its mouth shapes a word you cannot hear. And as far as you tapping on it, it doesn't seem to fall, but, give me a perception roll if you want to see what word he's shaping with his mouth. Or she, sorry. You have no idea what word she is trying to help you with. Now, as a reminder, we get 1 free inspiration point for every single session that we are in. That don't stack, of course. This replenishes every single session, but you also have the reference inspiration as well that are consumed and don't replenish.
I can't use that resource.
So, if you would like, you can reroll.
Yeah. Let's roll that again.
Okay. With a 16, yes. You aren't quite sure the second word that he quickly mouths, but you are very certain of the first word that he mouths out. Silver.
Yes, I did get that from the poem. I'm gonna look more closely at the bridge. Is there like a seam or anything in it?
No seam. It's just one pane of glass all the way through. I guess with the 16, it's decently close, so I'll give you a little bit more information since the roll for the DC for silver is pretty low. You see that the first mouthing of his second word sounds like k. He makes a k type of word.
Silver K.
Silver k.
Is there anything else I notice about the chasm itself?
No. It's pretty featureless. If you'd like to walk along it, you can try.
I'm gonna pace along its edges, just looking into it, seeing if maybe there's like another way or something.
There is
something that
legitimately
maybe
no
I'm
other
not
way.
noticing.
If you would like, since this is in the rules as well, you can use your exhaustion as a form of inspiration. But as a reminder, exhaustion goes up to 11 for my game. Each
right, and
point
is a -1 to everything.
Yes, and for long resting, you only recover 1 point.
How does it look like above? Is there like any stars in the sky I can see or anything?
You look at Salgaria, and it is pointed westwards towards Moonvale. That's where it's at. Roll a history check.
Yeah, that checks out.
Trying to think
Alright.
of your day along so far, you can't quite piece together this puzzle. You take a look at the things that you have on you. You have all the clothing in the world on you. You have baked bread, a potato, 4 gold pieces now with 2 silver coins, as well as... Oh, what was the last thing? Oh, the amulets. The Evernight amulets.
Well, I have the amulet. Is it glowing at all or anything?
No.
Okay, so not since that night. Or that dream or whatever that was. Your shadow is the silver seam.
Now remember, we're not onto the chorus, we're on verse 2.
Right. I was hoping that would give me a hint. And with the dark with a silver trail.
You have baked bread, potatoes, 4 gold pieces, 2 silver coins, as well as the Evernight amulet and all the clothing in the world on you.
I do have the silver trail, maybe. Well, I might as well pull out a silver piece.
Okay. As you pull out this silver piece, the shadow, or sorry, not the shadow, but the reflection starts tapping onto the glass pane that's splitting your reality and theirs.
I think I understand what it means. I'm gonna flip the coin onto the bridge, see what happens.
Sure. The frost groans, not in breaking, but in answering your decision. Cracks spider outward, glowing faintly, and the reflection below you mimics your motion. Looking upward, the ice shatters. The glass pane falls, and shattering into thousands of pieces into the chasm. It melts, and arises the dark shadow chasm comes forth, reshaping the bridge that was once there into a span of blackened silver. The bridge gleams like moonlight caught in obsidian, your reflection vanishing. The bridge is steady now. Behind you, the ice grown shut.
Quite the harrowing path to get to school.
I did this every day when going to school.
Both ways.
That's right.
Uphill and downhill.
It's just how much you know the creed.
Well, this bridge looks certainly a lot steadier. Let's go.
Durox's cane tapped nervously on the dark black stone. He nods in approvement. You paid her toll, dreamer. Now the cradle will lead us deeper. Walking felt like hours this time. The stars above coming out to play in the night sky. You trudged on, stopping to rest once in a while before continuing on. You no longer shivered. You've grown accustomed to the cold. You'll need to rest soon in order to... you'll need to rest in order to ventilate yourself, unless if you want to take a point of exhaustion in order to keep going.
I think I'll rest. We've been walking for hours.
Sure. Duax goes ahead and leans up against a frozen wall, which is something you definitely should not do. You begin digging into your pockets and releasing the ventilation, and then snap. When you look up, you see a void. Stretched out wide, a vast expanse of twilight. A pocket where no snow, light, or wind traveled. Then, across the void, a shooting silver star breaks across the cosmos, threading the night of the horizon where dawn strained but never broke. Around it spun fragments of stars, shattered and wandering, caught in orbit around the glowing line. Duax is there with you. The seam. We stand in the hymn itself. You are currently inside a nebula. Time to play the next song.
What's that?
Sorry, I'm saying time to play the next song.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is it gonna play this song? Like I told it to play.
It's on its break, man. You gotta, like...
I guess so. What the fuck? This bot sucks. Okay, I guess play this in the background of your browser. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Constellations, nebula, shooting stars dance across the sky, a vividry of color glancing in your eyes. You hear the hymn itself as you are within it. Oh, nightmare of dreams, keeper of the unspoken schemes, your shadow is the silver seam that stretches night to dawn's first gleam. Call us higher, call us far, past the boundaries, past the star. We are the storm, we are the stream, led by the nightmare of dreams. As the hymn echoes, cosmic colors of space rush to you. A nebula, constellations appear, pouring visions, storms of memory, torrents of doubt, streams of possibility. You saw yourself, past and future, visions blending into one another. You see yourself one day overlooking a vast kingdom of one that you helped build. You saw visions of yourself faltering, falling in the snow. You see visions of your friends, ones that you don't recognize but feel. Red cosmic nebula sprouts forth, and you see Cyrus looking at you, older, battered, bleeding, and bruised, growing smaller in the distance. You see your past, the church, people, indigo, and silver streams into the color of the nebula now, and you see the church welcoming you with open arms, unquestioning of how you or where you came from, just knowing that you are home, safe. You see them miss you. You see yourself riding into the distance in the back of the carriage. You see Sister Lily turn and cry into the priest's shoulder. The church's children bummed out. You see yourself standing mighty, proud and tall, with a determined look on your face as a brave, noble-hearted adventurer. You see yourself walking with Nightmare Moon, her black figure in silver blue attire, walking down the hallway, her looking at you with a slight annoyance. Lastly, you see your best friends, ones that you don't know yet, nor you have no past with. You see their colors in the cosmic sky, a blue and brown color. You feel safe. You know they have your back as much you have theirs. Cosmic constellations form, piercing across a multicolored nebula. We are the storm, we are the stream. Two paths unfurl from these constellations, but only one may be taken, the one you feel is most right. Constellation of the storms, constellation of the stream. You do not know what path these lead for you yet. You have to trust your gut. In this space, you're able to move freely, wherever or whichever path you take.
This is a lot.
A little bit of whiplash, yeah. But you are part of the dreaming now, the hymn.
So, I have paths here that I can go down, you said?
Correct. We are on to the hymn, the chorus. And as part of the chorus, as we can read, there are two segments. That is, we are the storm and we are the stream.
Alright. And so you said, the two paths are like the storm and the stream, you said?
Correct. You are in the hymn. Just think over it carefully of what you want, what the poem says, and choose wisely.
Oh, nightmare of dreams, keeper of the unspoken schemes. Your shadow is the silver seam that stitches night to dawn's first gleam. Fire goes far, past the boundaries, past the star. We are the storm, we are the stream.
In front of you are the constellations, glittering with the stars that make them up. The path of the silver seam is your gateway. And you are the stitch to choose the path.
Is there anything I notice about these paths?
Other than they are remarkably beautiful in their trails, there's not anything else about them.
Past the boundaries, past the star. Your shadow is the silver seam that stitches night to dawn's first gleam. Does my shadow appear to be facing in any sort of direction or anywhere?
So your shadow is basically you for where you walk. Your shadow is the silver seam within the silver trail.
Dawn's first gleam. I think I'll go along the path of the storm.
Very well. Is this your final choice?
You always make it sound like I've chosen wrong.
I'm supposed to be impartial to your answer, like a god watching over his children.
Yes, I get you.
Just read the poem.
Yeah.
Choose.
Call us higher, call us far. Like, do these paths, like, where does it look like they lead? Because
They
this space is...
So there's a left and right path. Left path leads to the constellation that is made up by stars, which is the storm. And then on the path right, there is the constellation that is made up of stars, which is the stream. My bad.
I think,
Now, Duok still has this book called The Egghead's Guide to Everything. It's full of esoteric bullshit like this.
this is very esoteric.
Yes, it is. It is.
Hey, Duox.
Yeah.
That book.
Yeah. Would you like to see it?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. He goes ahead and gives you the book.
Alright, is it still blank for me?
Correct. As you open the book, the entire book is blank. However, the words are still recognized by the hymn that is hidden within the book. You see letters begin to form a new path. The esoteric book helps you out. Call us higher, call us far, past the boundaries, past the star. And with that, letters begin to make up past the two constellations that are made up of stars beyond those two paths, and leads to a new path, one that is of no name.
To go beyond, huh? Past the boundaries? I guess I'll walk
Very well.
forward on this new path.
As
The
you
path that isn't already lit or laid before me.
rise
Right.
higher, and as you rise past, you go past the boundaries of which you have foreseen. And with that, that's where we'll end our session today.
You're making me think. It's all tense and stuff.
Yeah. So pretty good foreshadowing here, huh?
Yeah, no, very much so. That was really intense.
What did you think of today's session? And please, of course, be honest.
You know, started off, we're just gonna have a little adventure,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, we got some nightmare fuel going on.
Yeah. What did you think of the puzzles? I mean, you're not done yet, but,
They're challenging, but also solvable if I think about it for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I think with that last one, I was just gonna be like, oh, I just walk past them, but like it didn't seem like an option was all that was really stopping me.
In Batavia, the game is defined by the choices you make. What is written is not what is always there. So when you make things happen, When you change the world around you, new paths open up. Always keep that in mind.
I hope we make it through the valley before we have to start chewing on the leather-bound book for food.
Now, I would like to start with some likes and dislikes of the game. Of course, this always helps to shape out a better campaign for you in the future. What are the things that you liked during the section? Or not section, but session. Pick 2, please.
I really liked that it felt like the stakes were high with the trials.
And they were. They were.
Yeah, they are.
Don't mistake it. They are.
Like, that's very intense, and it's also really neat that that when you said puzzle, or that the him would be the way to get into Moonvale, I was really hoping it wouldn't be just like, oh, here's a short quiz. What did this say?
Well, did I live up
Got,
to
like,
that
a
expectation at
multi-choice
least?
question here.
Did I live up or surpass that expectation of a little quiz?
Oh, absolutely. I was like, oh, this is just gonna be like a test or whatever. He's gonna ask me a question about it. Oh no, you gotta figure out these puzzles. Also, you're gonna die if you fuck it up.
Did you like the puzzle system for what is here?
Yeah. Dang, okay. This is the way to get to school? Alright.
Yeah, good. I'm glad that you liked it.
Also, is Duox seeing these, like, visions I'm having, or is he in
Yes.
his own, like...
He doesn't... He sees the colors of your memories, but they're not connected to him. It's just colors. For you, they're
Gotcha.
connected with memories of past, present, and future.
Gotcha. Very locust room there.
Um,
Alright.
What are some things that you disliked about this session?
The way that Duox, like, talked about places, it wasn't sounding like he was saying knowledge that he had. It was more like he was reciting it off of, like, a book or off of a sheet.
Yeah,
And I can
that's
get
fair.
that, you know. That'd be a lot to, like, memorize and be, like, talking in character about.
The way that I thought about it is like, I need to give a little bit of information because that's how a Selenian Theocracy player starts to understand what their gods created in this world. But I also need to give them like, hey, here's the surrounding area, you know, what happened around me when I was growing up. And I needed to give this exposition pretty quickly, which results in less
Right.
back and forth.
Right, I get we only have 2 hours for this, and now you have 5 minutes till you're on with Epsilon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, it was really neat to hear the parts that Daybreaker and Nightmare Moon made. Like, Daybreaker made the Sunflare Caldera, which sounds like it used to just be like Red Mountain or whatever, a blasted hellscape.
Yep.
And then they formed it into this sort of like mountainous area with like
Lots of lush
Down the forest and
vegetation
stuff.
and beautiful forests.
Yeah. And that Nightmare Moon's responsible for all the seas and the streams and whatnot, the oceans, lakes, rivers,
Mm-hmm.
and how she tried to make the frozen Twilight Forest this like serene and beautiful place, but it only ended up being like a place of death and
Yep.
cursed beyond what she could handle.
A tale that even gods can falter.
Yep.
Overall, what would you rate this session?
Yeah, that was like pretty high up there. I'd say about 8,
Okay.
8.5.
Cool. Well, I very much enjoyed our time together. Next session, there will be some time skips happening because we are going to go through your Inquisitorship and all that entails, as well as Moonvale Academy. Both of these will be relatively short, because I'm trying to nail us all down to do one more duo session, and then after that will be group sessions. So,
Well, I just hope my brain will work for the last couple puzzles, like, really good.
no problem.
I'll be like, oh, this one's a no-brainer. I'll just do the thing.
But yeah, there will be some time skips happening next time, so you may feel a little bit of whiplash, kind of like what you felt here. It just kind of is what it is. Once we're at level 5 and bits and pieces here and there for our sessions, our duet sessions will come back to this pastime of Moonveil and Inquisitorship and furthering detailing that out. But yeah,
Right.
I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Man, I can't wait to come back when I have teleport and just be like, oh, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Alright, here I am, Moonveil.
But yeah, that's a lot of trust Duark's placed into you.
Yeah, no,
Life is
thank
literally in your
Teacher, who,
hands.
has, for some reason, a snake in his hat and a few spiders crawling out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And who also doesn't have a cat hand.
Yep. Alright, good talking to you, Du. I need to get ready for my next game.
Alright, see you later. Have a good one.
See you, man.
Yep.